Well, hope you guys have all had a really good week. And I hope you're all revved up for an exciting time this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, wherever you are in the world. So last year, it feels like last year. Last week, I talked to you about going into an ascension today. I want to teach you what that is. So I just felt I need to give you a bit more foundation for that and how it works, because often people will go into ascensions and not even realizing what's actually happening. So I want to break it down for you so that you are aware and become more aware of when it happens, and also how you can activate that, how you can have intention of doing an ascension. And I'll give you some keys as well on how to line yourself up, so to speak. All right, so we ready to go, everyone? Awesome. All right, so let's just look at the word ascension for a minute. The word ascension means the act or process of going up or rising to a higher position. So this encapsulates quite a few different things for me, in the sense of it's also encapsulates a higher way of thinking. Now, remember in one of our talks, I talked about the, tapping into the geniusness of God. We've got access, unlimited access. Well, when we go to an ascension where we're thinking higher, we're looking from things from a higher perspective, not just from this realm, but from the higher realms. And we're above all things. We're looking down. This is partly what happens. And so it's also a high way of thinking, but also it encompasses a physical elevation. So let me break that down for you. When I'm dealing with, say physical ailments, this is where I go to then speak to my cells and speak to my body to come into alignment with how God created me. So this is all what you can do in this ascended state. This is what you're tapping into, is you're tapping into the divine, and you're bringing that energy, that frequency, the things that are available to us, and we're bringing it here into this 3D world, so to call it. So biblically, the ascension, as most of us would know, is the body of, the bodily rising of Jesus into the heavens. So this is where a lot of people talk about the ascension. And the word ascension has become quite, started coming out probably a couple of years ago. More people are talking about ascensions. And it's like, which I found really interesting, because when we look at the aspect, the biblical aspect, that, Jesus did everything that he did for us, and we can walk in that resurrection power, that means that we are ascending. So it's kind of like we've got to put it all together and not put it in the bits and pieces that religion has taught us and the programming has taught us, that that's not available for you today. It absolutely is. Everything that I share with you is available for you today. It is not, unless you go through the fires of hell, or, you go through punishing yourself, or all this sort of thing. It is all available to you to right here, right now, today. And the simple step is just asking God to come into your life. That's the most important factor. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit more later. So why do we want to do ascensions? It's not just to have that, oh, wow, this feels amazing. And it does, but there's, with God, there's always a purpose and there's always a plan and there's always a reason. And often we forget to ask about the purpose or the plan or the reason, because we're coming from it from our perspective rather from coming God's perspective. So let's just clarify this, because I want to break it down a little bit more. All right. The Spirit of God is with you always. Okay. The Spirit of God is to comfort and to guide you. The promises are He will never leave us. He will never forsake us. So this is the Spirit of God that is in all of us. It just needs to be activated in a lot of people. The reason that we do ascensions or go into the heavenly realms or the higher realms, the higher dimensions, 5D, whatever it is, your language, is because we want to access the 7 spirits of God. Now, a lot of people have been very confused with the 7 spirits of God and then the Spirit of God. The 7 spirits of God are attributes of God, but we access them in a higher realm. And if for those that want scripture, it's all in Revelations. And there's so much happening with Revelation as we live and speak today. And it's a good place to go and read to understand what's happening. And also, where our role in all of this. So the 7 spirits of God, let me list them for you. It's the Spirit of the Lord. It's the Spirit of wisdom. It's the Spirit of understanding. It's the Spirit of counsel. It's the Spirit of power, the Spirit of knowledge, and the Spirit of the fear of God. Now, I want to just stop there for a minute. People, again, religion has taken the fear of God out of context. The fear of God there is a reverence. It's a respect. It's an awe. It's a wonder of being connected with the divine. It's not about fear and trepidation and trembling and, am I worthy to step into His presence? It's God is already with you. He's already in you. So when you come into that place, you're already accepted. So when we go into an ascension, we are actually tapping into the 7 spirits of God. That's the purpose. We're ascending because we want to understand. We want to get wisdom for a situation or a circumstance. We need counsel. Sometimes we need power, the power of God to come on us to be able to deal with a circumstance or situation. So these are the things that we actually tap into when we go into an ascension unknowingly. So when I've got a situation in front of me and I'm going into the Spirit. Now, someone asked me this quite a little while ago. They go, well, you talk about going into the Spirit, but what do you mean, Dot? Well, this is what I mean. It means I'm going up in my heart and in my focus to tap into wisdom, to tap into understanding, to tap into the power of the Spirit. If I need knowledge because I've got a situation that I'm, wanting to bring changes to, this is where you find solutions. This is where you find answers. Now, guys, the more we do this individually, the less we need to go to others. Now, let me break that down for you, because I was having a conversation with Jenny after our call, and I go, Jenny has an incredible gift on her life, but we all have that gifting of insight. It's just at different levels. But what can happen is, because of her clarity and the fact that she has worked on her gifting to be able to see and speak what she sees, people are almost going to her like a clairvoyant. They're going to her for answers that they should be getting for themselves. And again, this is part of the religious programming, because it's like, oh, there's a prophet in town. And the church is always full when they have a prophet in town, because everybody wants to know their future, or they want to get answers. So there's a fine line here, that we understand why we're going to someone and what is the intent. There is a responsibility that each and every one of us has to grow in our spiritual gifts and in the nature of God that He has given us. You know, we're in a society where we want quick fixes, we want it instantly, and it's like a drive-through prophecy, or a drive-through, someone will give me all the answers and I don't have to do anything. That does not cultivate a relationship with God that will stand no matter what comes at you. That is the importance of taking responsibility of your growth. And you do that by spending time with God, by listening to teachings and learning the keys and then accessing them. Please, with everything that we've done for nearly 2 years here, is, I hope you're taking the tools, you're taking the examples, you're taking the experiences that I've shared with you and going, I want that. And pressing into God, pressing into the Spirit to receive that, to grow in that. We did a series on the favor of God. Well, the following week, people came back with, oh my gosh, I did what you had presented, Dottie, and things were happening. But I hope that didn't stop there. I hope that, you kept going with it, pushing into that, asking for God's favor. It's the fact of the matter is, guys, it's already there on you. It's like we've created this separation in our mindset of, I've got to ask God for His favor because I need it for this situation. But His favor is on you all the time. It's with you always, the same as His protection, the same as His unconditional love is with you all the time. It's not, put this hat on today and then take that hat off tomorrow. It's ever present. Regardless of how you feel or how you think. This is the shift of thinking higher, having God's mindset towards situations and circumstances. And this is what we're accessing when we go into an ascension. Now, there's lots of other wonderful things that happen, but I just want to, direct you into these aspects of the Spirit of God, because these are the things that will give you answers to your situations and circumstances. It will give you wisdom, which gives you clarity. We make decisions every day. We have to discern what's going on around us more than we ever had before. So this is really, I feel, really strategic, but also important to you walking a life that's full of the presence and the power of God. There's a richness in it. So it's very interesting that there's 7 spirits of God, and I'm going to touch on that. The number 7 is related to creation, the completeness. And also the cycle of 7 is every time you come to 7 years, if you want changes in your life, that's the time to change it. That's the time to make decisions, because then if you stay where you're at, because you love where you're at, you'll have another 7 years of going that way through. And there's lots of biblical, the debts are wiped in 7 years. There's a whole lot that happens around that 7. So I just want to touch on that a little bit. The other fact is the fruits of the Spirit, which is peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, and gentleness. They encompass the 7 spirits of God. So, they work hand in hand. And I've, through my walk with God and in the Spirit, is that, we need the fruits of the Spirit to accomplish, but also embrace the 7 spirits of God. Because there's sometimes that we need wisdom, but we need patience with the wisdom that we are getting. Just hang on a minute, guys. I've just got to deal with something for a minute. Deal with. So part of the learnings of the fruits of the Spirit come with the 7 spirits of God. So they are entwined. And this is our process. But they're all there for you. They're all, at your disposal that you can tap into. So when we go into an ascension, we're going in there with this purpose to receive answers. In Mark 7:7, it says, ask, seek, knock. This is what we do when we go into an ascension. We're asking God. We're presenting a situation that we need insight for. Now, if you're you're physically feel tired, then this is a great place to go for refreshing. Because this is the best way I can describe it. If I'm feeling tired, I lift myself up in the Spirit and then I feel refreshed. So for me, it's always the only way I can describe it. It's like this step up. It's like I'm here in this 3D world. I'm here where we're in the physical, but I want to tap into more of the spiritual. Then it's like a step up. And sometimes it's even, lifting of my head can give me that change of perspective. It can be a standing up. So you will find things that work for you that help you. Sometimes you can just lift your eyes up, but you will start to develop something that will help you go, yep, that's where I am now. And then you are starting to access the spiritual realm. Okay. And guys, I want to encourage every single one of you. It's there for you. It's there. It can ignite that. You can develop that. It's just working with how you work. Some people, you know, need to go to the beach. Some people, you know, need to go for a drive in the car. Some people need to, you know, sit in a certain spot. But ultimately, you want to be able to access the heavens any second that you need it, or better to stay in it, actually. But when you're learning to get, you're coming in and out. I want you to have something that will help you in your heart and in your spirit and in your mind to go up, to see the world the way that God sees it. So when we look things from his eyes and his heart, things look very, very different. And they also bring clarity. If your mind is, you know, confused, okay, what realm is that? It's not godly realm. It's not the realm of the spirit where you get answers. So therefore you go into that higher realm so that chaos and confusion can't follow you there. The 7 spirits of God is to prepare and guide you. And it's guiding us into ruling and reigning. Because when we get God's perspective, his wisdom, his understanding, his counsel, his power in a situation is when we rule and reign. In other words, this is where we can speak to the mountain. This is where we can speak to circumstances, knowing that the answers that we have received will be fulfilled. Now, there's a real key element here, guys, because what happens when we come before God and we're begging for answers? We're begging for solutions, or we're, you know, God, could you please come and can you please change this situation? That is not how we are called to stand. That is not even how we are called to pray. We are called to have dominion, to have authority. That's why, you know, it's full of speak to the situation. Now, I'm going to touch on something here. There's a lot of teachings about having mantras. So, you know, people going to, you know, I will be wealthy, I will be wealthy, I will be wealthy, I will be wealthy. And they have it written all over their houses and they've got plaques and they're like, I will be wealthy, I will be wealthy. It doesn't work like that. There is no authority or power on standing there going, I will be wealthy, I will be wealthy. It's when you go in and connect with the Spirit that you will feel power. You will feel life on what you are being told. And when you speak life, it hits the mark. And it hits it with action. It hits it with solutions. That's why we don't need to be afraid of what's happening in the world today. We need to speak to it to move. It's interesting, during this week, I was having my just having a great time with God, and he started to talk to me about the global airways. I was like, oh, you've got my attention. And he says, it's time to shift the global airways. I went, okay, God, I'm up for that. The more of us that are addressing the global airways where we're speaking life, we're speaking hope, we're speaking, you know, God's power over all the things that are evil, that are showing their faces in this short time that, you know, that of Satan, where he is, all the things that have been hidden are being revealed. It has to be. It's not, oh my God, what's happening? It has to be. God is in control. But we've got to start speaking to the global airways and start releasing that, releasing the hope, releasing the truth, so that we can start seeing a greater shift. The more of us that do that, the quicker this happens. That's what people don't realize. They keep leaving it to one or two people. No, it takes all of us. We're all part of it. And that's part of the journey that's ahead of us. And that's why, if you understand how to go into the, the higher realms and access the answers, the solutions, not just for your own life, but for the life of others. A word, just a conversation can bring change into someone's life, and it can be very, very powerful. So we always want the heart of God. It's not your will. It's God's will. It's God's heart. It's God's power that we are accessing. So I'm going to break down what an ascension, how you can, just a few steps. It's not a formula, guys. I'm not into formulas, but some steps that can guide you into finding a way you can do this for yourself. Okay. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do along in this as well. Like, well, let me just break it down for you. So position yourself where you will not be disturbed. Switch off your phone, find a quiet place, might be in your car, whatever. Just find that place, okay? Because it's all about that intention of your heart as well. Now, once you develop this, you can just go, bang, I'm in it, right? You can just lift your head and go, oh, okay, God, and you just present what it is that you need an answer for. People can be talking to me and I'm already in the spirit holding up their conversation so that I can find an answer that will help them. And sometimes God goes, no, not yet, because there's a process of their learnings. And this is where sometimes people want to save everybody from themselves, as in save others from themselves. Sometimes we've got to let them go through the journey so that they learn what they need to learn. Because at the end of the day, each and every one of us needs to stand on our own, in our own power, in our own strength. Even if you're married, you can't turn around and go, oh, God, yeah, my husband did all of that. It's like, no, we are accountable for ourselves. We are unique and we are individuals that God has called for a purpose and a plan. So this is just a great thing to do. And I've talked about how at the end of the day, you can shake off, things that you've picked up during the day, where you kind of debrief, unclutter, shake off what the day has brought, if you need to. But doing an ascension where we're tapping into all that is provided for us in the higher realms, this is what you can do. So I'm going to talk through it, and then if we've got time, we can do one. The reason I'm going to talk through it is some of you might want to just do this on your own after the call or another time. That's up to you. So the number one thing is we all breathe. Okay, we breathe no matter whether you intentionally do breath work or not, you're breathing. Every breath is a breath of God. So we just take a breath and we just exhale it, right? It gives you a bit of a positioning. It gives you a bit of, okay, I've let go of everything. I'm just going to relax and I'm just going to start to hone in and focus. So we let everything go. If there's things, if you feel unsettled, you go, okay, what's that? Oh, yep. All right. I was a bit ticked off to that person. Okay, we'll just let that go. Sorry, God, I got ticked off. Okay. Really, there was no need. Easy. Saying sorry or apologizing. This is a real key in the spirit. It actually clears the slate when we apologize, when we say we're sorry. When we clear the slate, we then can start again. So it's like a reset. So that's why, asking for forgiveness or forgiving somebody, it gives you a clean slate. Now, if you have the light language or you speak in tongues, this is perfect doorway to coming into the higher realms. I've shared many times that I use it. I use it a lot. Couldn't do life without it. And that's the light language. We all have it. We just have to activate it. Okay. If you have the light language, perfect place to launch. If you don't, that's okay. Right. So what you do is then you just start to focus. Now you focus on the love of God. When you focus on how much he loves you and what he means to you, that relationship, then you just automatically just start to open up. Your spirit opens up. Now, there's a few keys in here. If you find you're going into this state and your mind starts wandering, just bring it back into alignment. In other words, you take all your thoughts captive, another tool that I've taught you, and bring them under the power of God, so that you don't get distracted, thoughts coming through at you, everything like that. So you just, sit in that. Focus your mind, narrow it, and then you start to let your heart rise or your spirit rise. You close your eyes and you start to think about God. And then what you do is, if you have a situation that needs an answer, you present that. Remember, ask, seek, knock. So God, and it's not like begging. It's a communication. You don't have to go, dear God, Father God, like, could you please, God, could you, Father God, would you, God. I don't know what that is, but so many people do that, where they just say God every 2 words. And I'm like, what's that? I don't sit there going, now, Jenny, could you please, Jenny, come over? And Jenny, would you, Jenny, I hope you could, Jenny, will you come? I really want to have a coffee with you, Jenny. Jenny, would you have coffee with me, Jenny? Jenny, would you? No, we don't talk like that. Yeah, I know. But that's what people do. And it's, this is where we grow in our confidence in who God is and who we are in God. There's this assurity. And I know it comes with time, but that's what you want to aim for. That's what you want to develop in your life. That, you come into his presence with boldness. That is a scripture. Doesn't say come with intimidation. It says come with boldness. And that boldness is based on knowing who you are and who he is to you. That's where confidence rides. That's where the assurance rides. I know that I can come to God with anything and he will hear me. What's the worst that he could say? And I taught my kids this as a parent. You can ask me anything. The worst thing that I could say is, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Right? So, and I find when I do when I'm in God's presence and I'm talking to God, I just put it all on the table. You know, it's like, yeah, this would be really great if this happened. You know, that's what I think. That's what I feel. You know, what do you think, God? What do you think about that? What do you think about my idea? And he sometimes he'll go, well, I've actually got something better than that for you. Go, okay. So this is the simplicity of the beautiful relationship that you can have with God, with the Spirit, even the 7 spirits of God. Engage wisdom. She's beautiful. You know, engage power. It's mighty. There are some things I've walked into where I've gone, wow, God, I really need your power on this one. I need your presence and power on this one because of what I'm about to walk into. And it's there. Right? So this is part of the confidence, growing in that confidence in your ascension. All right? So, and then you let your heart just rise. Let your spirit rise within you. Let your, you know, let the joy of his presence overtake you. And then open up your heart to receive. It's a very beautiful and yet simple exchange in the spirit. And that's where you like, God, this is my situation. Okay, guys, if you've got a business, God, we're struggling with this business. He already knows. But it's really nice when we go and talk to him about it. And just like, God, give us some strategies on how to make this business successful. Or show me in the spirit what's stopping the business from being successful. These are all the questions that you can ask. And then sometimes you can just sit and wait and God will speak to you. Sometimes it's not like heaven is silent, because that's a lie. But sometimes there's a timing in it. Now, I throw things up all the time to God. And sometimes I get woken up at 3 a.m. and I get this download. And I start to see, and he's like, this is happening, this is happening, this is what I need you to do. And I go, okay, I got it. Yes, thank you. And it comes with real clarity. It comes with real precision. And sometimes it's like, okay, I need to do that right now. And I'll just get up and do that. Other times I'll go, do I have to do that now, or can I do that in the morning? Can I do that when I get up? And he will go, no, you can do it in the morning. That's good. Right? So these are the workings with the spirit. And getting answers for your life. Only God knows you the way he made you. Too often we are looking for other people to find answers for our life rather than finding them for ourselves. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have conversation. We have great conversations. Jenny and I get to have great conversations, and we're talking about different things. And all of a sudden Jenny will go, oh my gosh, Dot, you just answered something I've been asking God about for ages. And I'm hoping that these chats that we have together is doing that for you as well, for everyone else. Right? Because it's in the relationship that we create around us in the natural brings answers and solutions as well. Now, this is where whatever goes on in the spirit has influence on the earth. The same as what we do on the earth has influence in the heavens. The two work hand in hand. They are not separate. We are both body and spirit. We are matter and spirit, or frequency, energy. They work hand in hand. It's the transition part that we need to start to fully understand. How do the two work together? Because on the other side of it, we have the enemy working the two together. This is why we need to start accessing the global airways with agreements, with declarations, with proclamations of bringing and releasing the change. And it's like, let's just, hit the elephant on the head here. So many people go back into, well, God knows what's going to happen. He'll do it. We have been given the dominion. He gave it to us. It's up to us to bring the changes. It's up to us to declare and proclaim what this world looks like. Your world, your life has been created by you, by your choices, your actions. That's why, to me, tapping into the seven spirits of God is crucial, because I want my life to reflect God's purpose and plan for my life. His heart for me, the blueprint that he's put on my heart, the stamp, the seal that he's put on my heart to come to pass. All right. Okay, has anyone got any questions on what I just shared with you? Oh, another way to go into an ascension, just let me fill this in, is through singing. Singing is a great doorway into, going into the higher realms and accessing all these beautiful things. Now, I'm just talking about the seven spirits of God today. Okay, because this will help you get answers. There are other realms that, there's multiple realms that we get fun to access. But I just want to concentrate on people getting answers for their life. It's the same as if you're not well. Please ask God what's going on for you. Let him show you. Is it a spiritual attack? Is there emotional things that need to be healed? Is this a trauma that's manifesting? Is it a generational thing that's decided to show its face? Did I eat something that's upset my body? I'll share a story quickly here. I remember climbing into my car, which was a big four-wheel drive, and there was an incident that happened with another person, and I got ticked. Okay, I got really annoyed, and I climbed into the car, and as I climbed into the car, I hurt myself, right, because my foot slipped and I jarred my hip. Anyway, I got in the car and I went, oh, okay, I'll driving along and going, oh, I must have thrown my back out. And I went to get my back, realigned, because you do things in the natural as well. And then it went on for 12 months. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And I went, God, what is this? Why is my hip not healing? And he just said to me, he goes, because you have unforgiveness towards that person because of that situation. And I went, oh, never thought to ask that. But he pinpointed where it came in, and I said, God, I'm really sorry that I got annoyed with that person. I got ticked. I got angry. but I didn't express it. But I still had unforgiveness. I said, I just forgive that person. And my hip was instantly healed. Our emotions and our responses have a big factor on our physical beings. So why I, didn't think to ask God earlier, don't know, still growing, still learning, was quite a few years ago. The kids were still little. They're in their 30s now. But that is just one of the things. Why? Why have I got this pain that I can't shift? When I know that pain has to leave me. Pain can't stay. It's because I had to deal with a situation where I had unforgiveness. That's what I said right from the beginning. Unforgiveness is very, very powerful. Someone just put in this chat, can I please list the 7 spirits of God? So it's the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of wisdom, the spirit of understanding, the spirit of counsel, the spirit of power, the spirit of knowledge, and the spirit of the fear of God, which is actually means respect and reverence. All right. Has anyone else got any questions? Now's your time.
Yep, we got questions, of course.
I love you guys because you have questions.
Actually, you talked about the fruits of the spirit, right? And I wrote down only 2, peace and patience, but I don't know what the others were.
Okay, kindness.
Oh, kindness, yes.
Faithfulness.
Yeah.
Gentleness.
Ooh.
Joy.
Gentleness, joy.
Joy. And love.
Love. Okay. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. But remembering the greatest of all is love.
Yeah.
Because when you come from love, peace, patience, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and joy all comes from that. That's why God is love. That's why he is patient with you.
Dottie, is it possible to, if you have the fruits of the spirit, do you have to go in all those emotions? Let's say if you go in the spirit, then you really feel like the peace and the patience and the kindness, and get rid of all those things that you have to let go. Is this what you mean? So actually you see, yeah?
Yep, absolutely. It can definitely be a huge exchange. This is why ascensions are really powerful, because if you've, life is just coming at you.
Yeah.
It's very hard to feel peace. It's very hard to find joy. It's very hard to find, that love, because you're wrestling in the 3D world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The 3D world is the world of toil.
Toil. I don't know the word
Toil, as in hard work.
Oh, yeah. So actually, I
Right?
felt last week my heart was very heavy, let's say, and I could not get rid of it. I just did everything what I could, but I don't get rid of it. So actually, this is making my energy go down, 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 right? So as if I sucked empty. It's not good. Yeah. So then I have to do this exercise, which can help very well, I guess.
Did you ask God why your heart was feeling heavy?
I guess I know, because everything came together at a certain point, right? And this was not all kind of good stuff. So yeah, we know how to deal with it, but actually it was too much at one time. So I guess it was that.
Okay, so let me tell you, Lisa, there's a key there. When stuff comes at you and it's really heavy, you need to hand it over to God.
Yeah.
And keep handing it over. And while you're handing it over, ask him what's actually happening. Yeah. Right? Because we are in a spiritual battle. people, please, you need to realize that we are in a spiritual battle, and there is a lot of heaviness over the earth at the moment because people are feeling the weight of what is being revealed. The child trafficking, the exploitation, the government that is not for us. Like, there's huge things happening, and there is a heaviness, and lots of people are feeling it. And that's why it's really important to go rise up and go, God, I'm feeling the heaviness, I'm feeling the weight of this earth, and I'm giving it to you. But we need to declare and proclaim his heart and will. This is attached to speaking to the global airways, Lisa.
Yeah.
Because that is exactly what's been happening this week. And you're not the only one that has been experiencing that. Okay. Yeah. So there's and I don't want to use, global consciousness, because the enemy is trying to cause that. I'm talking about our God connection.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people feeling that, and that's why you're not alone. And a lot of people think that it's their issue or they're feeling alone. That's not the case. There's more happening out there, and it's a case of having a conversation with others. Okay, but you've got to break through that. If you have a light language, it will help you break through that. But you ask God, what's going on? Is this happening globally? Is this happening, in the spirit? Is it me, or is it for someone else? You always got to ask those questions, because a lot of things will come at us that we go, oh, that's me. And God goes, no, it's not you. Yeah. Okay, it's something that's coming at you, or you are tapping into the issues of God's heart, and he's wanting you to partner with him.
Yeah. So can I ask one more question about the languages, the light language, because I use this in the night, like 3 o'clock, you say, right? That's when it happens. I just start doing it. But is this correct, or should I wait till God invites me to talk with him?
No, you step into your light language 24/7 if you want.
Okay.
Yep. No, absolutely. It's a very powerful tool.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay,
awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, Leanna has a question. Leanna.
Hi, Dottie.
Hey.
I'm not walking today.
I knew that.
I have a question, just also in just relation to what Lisa was talking about with and what you were speaking about, Dottie, about the global airwaves. So just for some clarification there. So is that speaking not only in the spirit, but also maybe commenting on something that you see on social media, or is it more just staying in the spirit and speaking life and hope? Yeah.
Great question, Leanna. So number one, when you see stuff on social media, all right, there's lots of times I've gone to write because I'm really passionate about what I think. And then I write it, and then I stop and I go, God goes, don't send that. Because number one, there's a lot of clickbait out there. Number two, there's a lot of surveillance going on Facebook. They're discerning who's who in the zoo through your comments. And the other thing is, sometimes it's not a platform you want to step into. In other words, it's an offer. It's an offer to come and contract with them, because once you open that conversation, there's going to be a pushback, and it's going to get you into their energy.
Absolutely. Right? It's happened to me many times.
Okay. So the best thing to do is not from the 3D realm, don't step into that, but do it in the spirit. Okay. And the best way to do it is go, God, just open this person's eyes to the truth, or let who they really are be revealed. right? Because the more people that comment, the more energy it gets, the more momentum it gets. Now, guys, we need to do this with the other way. If you see good things, repost the good things. Get the momentum of the positive things into the atmosphere, whether it's on social media, whether it's in conversation, etc., etc. That is really important, because I feel that we are too laxed in, this. And I feel the root of it is, because I've been having a good chat with God about this, is that people have been taught, oh, well, God knows what's going to happen, so we'll just go with whatever. Okay, it causes us to procrastinate, and it causes us to, it's like no action is still an action. If I said to you, I think I'm going to run your husband over, and you didn't say anything, you're actually agreeing with me. I know that was a far-fetched example, but and maybe someone here's thinking of that. But it's like, no response is a response. It's very, very interesting. And when we don't counteract conversations where people are gossiping about someone, guys, I have no qualms in saying, well, actually, I don't see that person that way. I see them like this. And I speak life into the conversation, because I don't want to make an agreement which then becomes a curse over that person. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Go on your hand. All
Thanks,
right, Helena.
Thanks,
Leanna.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. You were talking about the fruits of God. Isn't one big one gratitude? Shouldn't that be one of the fruits?
Gravity.
Gratitude.
Oh, gratitude. Well, that comes
Grateful.
under, sorry, I thought you said gravity. Sorry, that comes under respect and reverence. Okay, that's the awe. That comes under love. Love is gratitude. You can't love someone without gratitude.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand, right? So love supersedes all of it, but they are all fruits of the Spirit. You can choose to not be kind, but kindness is a fruit of the Spirit. Gentleness. These are all choices that we make, which, flow through your very being. The more and more you become in line with God, the more the character of God comes through you, which is who we are made in his image. Does that help?
Yep, that helps. Also, can I have a quick other question? My sister's doing this program, like an Ascension. She calls it Ascension process. And she talks about a Merkaba all the time, and raising a Merkaba and getting it tested. Can you do that?
Okay, that's all a new age phenomena, and it's another modality. And that's a good question as well, because, part of coming into the truth of the one true God, right? The connection with the one true God. There are many bridges, but not all of them lead into that. In other words, there's a lot of false doors and bridges that particularly New Age has developed. And I'm calling it out because New Age is actually another arm of Freemasonry. That's what it was designed. That's why it was designed.
Yes, because I'm asking the question because I've just always felt
It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with you.
worried. I felt a little bit worried for her because sometimes she goes into, the fear of evil spirits and all this sort of stuff. She's got to protect herself. She's always going on about protecting herself. And to me, it's like, I don't know. This is a bit, do you know what I mean? I just don't get a good feeling about it.
Yep, and you are spot on. So it's another, and we're going to see, guys, we are going to see a lot more false lights and false representations of, you know, trying to access God. This is Satan's whole plan, is to use us to access God. He wants to usurp the throne of God. And this is where, you know, we've got to rise up with the truth and the true light and the true represent the true God, the one true God is what is the shift that we're in. That is what we're coming out from underneath, that Babylonian spirit, which is the Freemasonry, the Luciferian, the Cabal, and the Masons, which the Masons, you know, developed the New Age.
Thank you. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Was that all? Was that everyone? Okay, cool. All right, guys, we've run out of time. So I'll tell you what, have a play with that what I've shared with you today. Some of you are already doing it. Some of you it'll take you to the next level. You've got the power in your hands. It's your life. It's your decision. But God is wanting to meet you in that. He is wanting to grow that in you so that your life is not a hit and miss. It's like, oh, is God in this or isn't he? Is God directing me? Isn't he? Like, you know that you know that you know. And that comes from confidence. And confidence comes from taking action. And I just feel there's, you know, in the next couple of months, there's going to be a huge explosion of us being called to action. And we don't do it in our, you know, our strength. We always do it with the power of God. If we do it in our own strength, it can take us out. And I say that in the sense that, you know, when we present God, the enemy has to deal with God. He can't deal with you. Does that make sense? So we're always presenting God. Okay? He's our shield. He's our protector. So the minute we come behind that and start doing it in our strength and doing it in the material world, in this 3D realm, then that's where we get taken out. All righty. Awesome. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed that today. Do I get a thumbs up for today? Did you learn anything today?
Thanks, Dottie. It was great.
Did it make sense, Leanna?
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Thank you so much.
All righty. All right. Well, next week, we've got the Living Free Festival, which is just going to be an absolute fantastic fun. Wish you could all be there. I know some of us will be. And so, Jenny, I think you're going to put on a recording for next Friday morning. Is that right? Or just not have it? It's your call because I won't be here.
I think it would be easier if we didn't put on a recording. However, this one was so good and I'm behind on all the recordings as it is. Maybe I should just put this one up. What do you think?
It's up to you.
I'm going to put this one up. It was very good.
All right. Awesome.
Everybody, because we probably want to hear this again, right? Yeah, this was good.
Want to hear that again? I'll be on repeat. Repeat.
Okay.
Repeat. All right, guys. Have a great day. Love you all. And I will see you when I'm looking at you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Dottie.
See you, Linda.
Thanks, Dottie. Thanks, Jenny.
Bye, Gil. You're awesome.
everyone.
See you, Todd. See you,
See you.
Have a
Emily.
great festival.
Hans and Lisa, you are the bomb. Nina, my beautiful friend.
Thank you. See you at the festival.
Have
Bye.
fun.
Have fun
I
at the
will.
festival.
Have an amazing time.
Thanks, Beth.